And welcome to another stirring edition of Cooking with Lily and Generoso. I am Generoso.
I'm Lily.
And we have a magnificent thing for you as summer approaches. This is Caponata, which is kind of like a Sicilian eggplant appetizer. And it's very healthy, and it's awesome in the hot weather. It's also a lot easier to make because eggplants are in season, so you can actually get eggplants to make the Caponata. Let's see what we're going to need. This is a very quick dish. Should probably take conservatively about an hour to make, and that includes about 30 minutes of kind of pre-treating the eggplant. Let me show you what we'll need. First off, I want to show you possibly the strangest looking eggplant you've ever seen. Yes, it has not one, but two phalanx coming off of it. But you need one decent sized egg roll. We'll even eat the kind of disturbing parts of the eggplant. I guess that's about a couple ounces of unsalted cashews. I'd say a half a cup of capers, 3 decent sized medium tomatoes. Use any tomatoes you like. I prefer these vine tomatoes. About 5 small cloves of garlic, some fresh basil, a red onion, extra virgin olive oil, some red wine, salt, pepper, a very, very good knife that you can trust and respect, and 2 frying pans. One's going to be for the caponata itself, and another frying pan is going to be used separately to cook the eggplant on its own prior to the last step. So we're going to do a little bit of prep work, and we'll be right back with the next stage of our caponata, so stay tuned. Welcome back. So we've done some prep work, and I say we because that means Lily and me. What have we done? Lily has, through great pain, chopped up these red onions brilliantly into little tiny pieces. Left the capers alone. We've taken the garlic and we've minced that. We've taken our cashew nuts and we smashed that. We're eventually going to toast these up. We've sliced up our basil into decent sized pieces because we want the full flavor. Lily has diced up our tomatoes, and if you come over here, we've taken all the eggplant, and that one eggplant is cubed up into 2 beautiful plates. What we're going to do is before we start frying up all the ingredients, take some sea salt and be very, very generous with it and cover your eggplant. We're going to shake some of this off eventually, but we're going to cover it in eggplant so that the eggplant doesn't oxidize and get super, super funky. We're going to take some towels, and we're just going to very, very basically just cover them up for the time being. And let that sit for about 20 minutes. So while you begin to cook all your other ingredients, you're going to let that eggplant sit, and we'll be back with the next step in just a second. Welcome back. So we've taken our frying pan. It's been about 5 minutes. And we started it off with medium heat. Now we're going to add a copious amount of magnificent olive oil, our beautiful extra virgin olive oil. Don't be skimpy with this, folks. I don't want to go too crazy, but remember, this is eventually going to be a dip that we're going to serve with the bread of your choice, so let it be a little fatty. That is fine. This is all good fat we're putting in here. There's no butter at all. And again, this is a beautiful dish that's normally served as your antipasto. So what you would eventually do, of course, is we're going to take this, we're going to cut up some beautiful French bread at the very end once it's done. And the other beautiful thing about caponata is put it inside some Tupperware or even in a covered plate. It'll last a good week. When those flavors blend in together, when they sit in the fridge, they really turn into something fantastic. But trust me, as soon as it's done, you can have as much as you want. But I prefer to have it a little bit cooler than serving it blazing hot. I think it works best. So now, with the oil is being nice and warmed up, we're going to take our garlic, drop it in. We're going to take all of those magnificent onions. We're going to drop those in as well. And then we're going to take our capers and throw them in the mix. Now the goal here is we're going to stir this. And we're going to wait till the onions brown. It should take maybe about 3 or 4 minutes to brown. And then when that happens, we'll be right back with the next step. Welcome back. So it's been about 6 minutes, and as you can see, the onions and the garlic and capers are starting to brown. They are not brown. We don't want them super dark at this juncture, but they are definitely infusing the oil with a ton of flavor, and that's the most important because this is what's going to make your eggplant taste fantastic. But you're going to need some help with that, and that help will come in the form of tomato and vino. So for you people that need to measure stuff out, look at my little bottle. I'd say that's about a cup. What did you say, Lily?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little under a cup.
Yeah. Mix that all together. Nice smell. So that's going to cook, and it's going to start to break down till eventually we're going to get a sauce. So think about 10 to 15 minutes of stirring, measuring that out. We're going to add a little bit of crushed pepper to it at this juncture.
We've got this thing called a pepper grinder.
I know, it's nice. So some beautiful crushed pepper in there. And we're going to keep stewing this until eventually the tomatoes start to break down. And then we're going to add our eggplant eventually, but there's a process before. We don't put the eggplant directly into this mixture. This is basically the sauce. The eggplant's going to cook separately, and we'll show you how in about 15 minutes. Hello, and welcome back. So our sauce is broken down nicely. As you can see, our pan is popping a little bit because I had a little water on it. We're going to do this in stages. We're going to add our eggplant to this. And we have 2 plates of eggplant. And our goal with the eggplant here is that we're going to fry this up till it's nice and brown. The salt is staying on it. I know we put a lot of salt, but it'll gradually start to work out. That's why we didn't put any salt in the actual sauce. We're going to make 2 batches of the eggplant brown, put it aside. At the very end, we're going to put it inside the sauce, and we'll show you when we do that. And we'll be back for the next stage. So, our eggplant is nicely browned, as you can see, but it's still very firm, and that's important because we're going to put that in the sauce in a little bit. But before we do, we're going to take the same pan that we used to fry our eggplant. We've taken the eggplant out and, of course, cleaned it a little bit. Put a drop of our grapeseed oil in there. You can use whatever oil you want. I find grapeseed fries better, don't you, Lily?
Yes.
Absolutely. Pan is still brilliantly hot. So we're going to add our wonderful cashews. Not for a super amount of time, but just enough to where they brown up kind of nicely. And then once they brown up, we're going to put them aside and we're going to go to the next step, and you'll see what that is in just a moment. Okay. Our cashews have a nice crispness to them, even a little bit like dark brown in some ways. That's awesome. They're softened up a little bit. We put our sauce back on medium heat and have warmed it up. And now we're going to add all of our beautiful eggplant. Give it a nice stir. Beautiful. Now you want these to mingle. You want those beautiful flavors. The capers are going to add a nice brightness to them. Now you've been wondering, well, how about that basil?
Yes.
This is when you add it. You don't want to add it too early in the process or else it just turns to mush. So just add a bit of basil. It's going to add some nice brightness to your dish. And we're only going to let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. Don't stir too aggressively. You still want the eggplant to exist a little bit firm. You don't want to puree it. So it still should be served a little chunky, but in about 7 minutes we're going to show you the final product, so stay tuned. And here it is, our caponata. So we've taken the cashews, we've put them on top, we've cut some nice, we found a nice French bread in the neighborhood. Amazing, Koreatown has really exceptionally good French bread. Who knew? And again, use it as a dip. You don't want to serve it scalding hot. It could be warm, it could be ice cold even. It's a really good summer salad. So look at it both ways. It stores really nicely, it won't go bad quickly, and the more the flavors mingle together, you have an excellent caponata. So I really hope you enjoy this. The whole time, with the amount of time it took for the eggplant to sit, was about 35 minutes. So you can have a really fantastic appetizer that'll blow your family away. Enjoy. Let us know how yours turned out.